kids. I would say
Wow.
Lakers.
Are we talking about the time when Lakers and Celtics were like clashing with each other?
No, that's long time ago.
All
That's
right.
long time ago. Yep.
Nice, nice. Second question is, have you ever been to a Red Sox game before?
No, never.
Never.
Never been there. That's asking. Yep.
All right, yeah. Third question. What was the most difficult thing that you've ever achieved so far?
I think playing in NBA is definitely one of the most hardest thing that I have achieved because people think it's very hard to get in NBA, but they don't realize once you get in NBA, it's very hard to stay in a league.
Hmm.
Because there's a lot of players coming in the league, as a 19, 20 years old, and they think their job is done, and then they kind of dedicate and you gotta stay disciplined. So I feel like staying in NBA is definitely.
Next question. If you ever were to look back, what was your biggest regret in life?
I would say by my biggest regret in life, I remember when I was in high school or even in college, Turkey or America, all I really cared about was basketball. But I know now I'm only gonna play this sport for so long, maybe till 34, 35 years old. And when I'm done with my career, I just don't wanna, just be one of those guys, just sit at home and just do nothing. So that's why I wish I pay attention to schoolwork more. But it's never too late. I'm done with my first year in college. So whenever I'm done with basketball, I would definitely love to get back in school and try to finish my college.
Hmm. Is there a specific major you're focusing on right now?
I I have not decided yet. So because I only went to school for my only 1 year, my second year about to get a subject, but I was one and done. So that's why I couldn't go. I didn't go to school my second year. So we'll see after my basketball career.
Nice, nice. We hope for the best. Next question is, what do you most appreciate?
Much. I feel like America has been amazing to us, but I think just because of it is not a Muslim country. I feel like we need to. We cannot lose. We cannot forget where we came from, and I feel like we need to keep communicating uh, with the people we love around us. And even if you have a problem or if you have anything to do, we should definitely go to them and just try to communicate with them and then try to talk to them. So I feel like what I'm trying to, whatever I'm scared of losing is that the people who's around me that cares about me the most.
Wow. Wow. All right. Next question. How do you deal with hate and negativity that you face with the media, especially these days?
Um, well, I don't really face any hate from American media or the world media, because I mean I try to express myself and the best way I can possible, and I really did not have any hard time or tough time with the media, international or American media. The media that I hate the most is the Turkish media, and I really don't care about it, because my job is to tell to represent what I represent to the world, not just for in one country. So that's why I really don't care what they do or what they say.
Oh, okay. How do you balance your professional life with Hizmet life?
Well, first of all, it doesn't affect each other at all, because I only play basketball maybe 2 3 hours a day, practice or games, and then after that you have 20 hours to do whatever. So that for me is just I think it's very important to balance that both basketball and your social life. And so I feel like just because of, like I said before, you don't want to forget where you came from. So that's why I always try to interact with the people who's around me, the Turkish. So that's why it doesn't, like I said again, it doesn't affect each other at all.
All right, because we see that you use your platform to raise awareness, and sometimes we
Mhm.
wonder if that ever harms you or not. But
It does not at all because I get just because of I'm trying to do the best I can to represent people around me in a highest way possible. If you look at my teammates, the coaches, the fans, or whoever's around me, just respects me with everything I'm doing. And whenever I sit down and talk, these conversations are very, very complicated.
Sen rahatsın tabii. Bilgisayar oynayacak mısın? Rahatsın değil mi?
So these conversations are very, very complicated. So whenever I sit down and have a conversation with them one on one, like one of my teammates or coaches, the one question they always ask me, how can we help? And that question always makes me so happy because they are understanding what's going on, especially in Turkey right now. So I feel like it's all about how you represent yourself to them or to people who's around you.
All right. Thank you. The next question is, what do you feel about baseball? Do you like baseball?
Do I like baseball? I have no idea. I don't even know the rules. I've never been to a baseball game. Well, professional baseball game. I say that. I've never been to a professional baseball game, and I'm really not looking forward to attend any of it because I really don't understand the rules, and just because I didn't grow up with it, I still didn't like. I don't know if I like it or not. So that's why I'm like I'm cool with basketball. Baseball to me, baseball is too slow, especially after playing basketball. Basketball is always action, always something's going on. But baseball is like you have to sit there for 3 4 hours to just watch one game. So I feel like it's too slow.
Yeah. Now we know why you never went to a Red Sox game, I guess.
There you go. Yep.
Next question. How did you decide to become a voice for the Hizmet in the US, although your family is in Turkey? Are you not afraid of this?
Well, there's nothing to be afraid of, because you're doing God's work. And so I feel like, because people around me, even when I was in Turkey, I go to this Hizmet school
Mhm.
since second grade in Turkey, and then I know the people who's around me was always, be nice to me, always give me open their arm from the day one, give me a warm house, give me a warm welcome wherever I go. So whenever I had this platform, I'm like, I grew up in this in this organization, in this Hizmet, and I did not see one wrong thing, I could say possible. So I was like, you know what, just because I have this platform, God gave me this platform, I need to use this platform to be voice of all those innocent people who don't have one. So that's why, I've been trying to do, trying to tell people, trying to tell the whole world media what's really going on in Turkey. So am I afraid? No, I'm not.
Wow. Okay, thank you. So, connecting with that, what are your thoughts about the process today, the persecutions and all that?
Of course, it's very sad. I mean, if you look at what's going on in Turkey, there's lots of innocent people who are in jail, suffering, and the numbers are also on the internet. You can just go check it out. But you hear lots of stories, very sad stories. But I feel like our job today is first of all pray for them. That's the most important thing to me. Just pray for all those innocent people over there, and try to tell if you're a student, tell your classmates. If you're a basketball player, tell your teammates. If you're whatever you're working at the school or you anything you do, you have to tell what's going on, people around you. Even if you're an Uber driver, you have to be like all you have to do is just try to educate yourself, and also just tell the whole world what's going on there, because those people need to know. People around you need to know what's going on.
Oh. Well, I appreciate you sharing this with us because nowadays we come across a lot of Turkish people who are here in America, especially separated from family, and they have a really
Right.
hard time raising their voices because sometimes they're afraid something might happen to their family or even to themselves. Sometimes they even feel uncomfortable in America because of the trauma that they went through. So
Right.
being able to see you do this really does motivate us. Thank you.
Appreciate
Um, Next question. Which team did you enjoy playing the most?
it. I will say either probably Oklahoma City or Portland. Because Oklahoma City, I play with amazing players like Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, and all this, Serge Ibaka and Steven Adams. So there, and we made the Western Conference final. So probably, and I played it for 2.5 years. I probably will say OKC because of my, friends over there. I was really cool friends with, Steven Adams and Russ Westbrook. I was, besides in basketball, besides in practice or game, we're always going out to hang out and going to movies, going out to eat together. And with Portland, I only played there for half a year, but the friendship, the locker room, there was definitely special, and we made the Western Conference there too. So I'll probably say that two teams that I enjoy playing the most.
All right. Thank you. All right. Next question. How does it feel to be well known, to be famous, I guess?
It's people first. I was thinking like, hey, it's gonna be so cool, and everywhere I go, people gonna know me and ask for autograph, this and that. But like, and then after that, I realized that you cannot go anywhere without people knowing you, or without people touching you, without people asking for an autograph or picture. You cannot just, especially in your city, you cannot just walk out there alone and just say, hey, let me just go out there and just walk in a park today, or let me just go on a mall and just hang out today, or let me just go to a movie, because there's always people, trying to take a picture, trying to, just trying to touch you, trying to, just ask for an autograph, this and that. But I think it's a very big responsibility on your shoulders, so you have to manage it very well. So I feel like it's cool. I'm used to it now, but there's lots of players out there. The I remember there's a lot of my teammates out there that they just be like, hey, it's my family time now. I don't want to take no pictures and stuff, but that will break all the kids' heart. So I feel like it's a big responsibility, but you just gotta enjoy the process.
Mm. Yeah, true. Thank you. All right. Oh, next question is a bit long, but I'd like to know, were you interested in joining the WWE?
Yes, I am.
All right. The question is, it says that despite the fact that Vince McMahon has been known to be openly, it has, to openly use derogatory terms of African American wrestlers and forced female wrestlers to strip on stage, all for the sake of the entertainment, he has also been known for the bad treatment of many wrestlers. How would you
hmm
justify joining competition with a corporate degenerate like him?
Well, it changed now, just because of his PG now, just because of his kids watching now. It was like that back in the day. It's not like that anymore. So whoever asked me that questions, you can just get your facts right, and then check it out what's going on now, because it was like that probably 10, 20 years ago, but it's not like that anymore because now the kids are involved in it. So it's not like that anymore.
I understand. Thank you. Next question. Oh, is Marcus Smart okay because of the virus that he's
He's
going through?
good. He's
He's good.
good. I actually did text him after I heard that he got the virus. He's a tough kid. I mean, he's been doing well. He said he's feeling fine. He actually said if he goes up, he actually feels like he can play a game right now. So the crazy part is that he doesn't feel any symptoms, but he got the virus, so he needs to be very careful. But I think it's been 14 days now. I feel like he is okay to go outside. That's what people say. So I'm not really sure. I haven't talked to him lately.
Hmm. All right. Thank you. Besides basketball, what other sport would you have imagined yourself playing if it wasn't for basketball?
Um, Trying to think. Actually, my whole life I was trying to play basketball. I tried to play soccer when I was a kid. Of course, as a Turkish kid, every kid probably plays soccer. But besides the basketball, I really did not play any kind of sports, because my whole life I was just focusing on one thing, one sport, and I was really trying to get it really good at. So I would just say basketball.
All right. All right. Next question. How's your relationship with Taco? And you believe, like in the future, that he'll be picking up more minutes?
I think so. I think he's probably one of the best teammate that I had in years. And what I think with his character, his hard work, his ability to just go out there and just make people's days definitely special. And also I would just say I don't think I ever played with a player that disciplined himself that much.
Wow.
I think he's dedicated. He wants to go out there, have fun, play basketball. He's playing hard. He's playing smart. And now I feel like in a couple of years, he's definitely going to get some real minutes in NBA.
Hopefully. Fans love him for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And the question is from someone called Yusuf. He's 10 years old, and he says, "You are my hero."
Appreciate it.
Question is, what was your most points in one game?
I think in NBA, my most points were, I think it was 33 points. It was against, I was playing for Oklahoma City, and I had that game against Portland Trailblazers. So I think it was 33.
Nice, thank you. Next question, Russell Westbrook or Steven Adams?
That's a very tough question. Um, I would probably say I'm still talking to Steven Adams, a couple times a week, and I'd probably say Steven Adams because he was like my brother when we played together. But obviously, I was really cool with Russell Westbrook too. But I'll definitely, if I have to pick one, I'll pick Steven Adams.
Steven Adams, all right. Next question. How did the NBA absence affect you? What would your advice be to athletes at home in general, people at home?
First of all, I would just say, besides NBA, I'll just say this. You're only going to play this sport for till maybe 34, 35 years old if you take care of your body. But, after you're done with your career, you cannot just go home and play Fortnite all day.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot just go home and watch TV all day. So for me, it was like, so pay attention to schoolwork first, then basketball comes second. So that is one. And then the second, if you want to become an NBA player, I remember when I was, 10, 11 years old, I remember my mom used to always give me this best advices, just stay away from the junk food, don't play too much video games, focus on what I need to focus on, or just go to sleep early, take a nap. I'm 27 years old playing NBA right now, and my NBA coach is still giving me this same advices. So I will say, if you want to become an NBA player or successful in life, listen to your parents. And then the basketball side, you just need to go out there and play hard, play smart, and have fun. Just work hard, dedicated, and just stay disciplined. And there's going to be a lot of distraction. Just avoid those distractions and focus on what you need to focus on, and always give yourself 100% whenever you play in a game or in a practice.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Next question is, I'm guessing from a basketball player. He says, how we who wants to be a better basketball player can do exercise during quarantine.
Yeah, that is a very tough one. I mean, I don't know if like right now we don't even know our league's going to be, started soon or not. So we are really trying to do everything we can to stay in shape in the house. So if you have a house, I mean, that means you have a space, so you can do some, push-ups and crunches, and do some sit-ups and do some squats and stuff. So that's the best way you can do it. Or if you have a treadmill or a bike in the house, you can do that. But if you have a apartment, that's very tough. I mean, all you can do is, I guess, just push-ups, crunches, and try to eat well. Just because of you're not moving too much, you'll be gaining weight. So try to eat very clean, stay away from the junk foods, stay away from soda, and I will just say just because of you're not moving too much, just watch your weight, or you're not gonna be you're not gonna be successful when you get back to get back on the court.
All right. Thank you. Where would you be today if you weren't in the NBA?
I actually, if I was an NBA, my childhood dream was becoming actually an astronaut. Because I mean, I remember when I was a kid. Yes, when I was a kid, I loved space. I love the science. I love space, and I always wanted to be an astronaut when I was a kid. So that's why I was like, if I didn't, if I wasn't a basketball player, I would definitely be something to do with space, because I remember even when I was a kid, I was watching a lot of clips about, the space, the sun, the moon, the stars. So I would definitely say an astronaut.
All right. So next question. What was your favorite subject in school?
So it's all about what the government says. When it's all depends on when this quarantine life going to end. It all depends on when are we gonna start, practicing again or playing game again. So whenever we're done with this season, we're gonna decide, see if we can do it. Maybe like 10, 15 camp if it's 100% healthy. to do it. So
Yeah, thank you. Next question is, all right, how would you describe Fethullah Gulen? And what is your relationship with him? And how often do you see him?
I try to, well, not right now just because we're in quarantine, but especially in summertime. Well, during the season, we have lots of games going on, so it's very hard to, just go and visit. But especially in summertime, I try to go visit him once a month. And well, just because of a lot of us right now who's watching this cannot go to Turkey. Whenever I go there, it's like being family. And what inspires important thing in life that he taught me is leave your differences on the table and trying to find what we have in common. And he always said we only have one world to live in, and the question we need to ask ourselves is how can we make this world better together? And that's the key word, together. And so that's why whenever I go visit him, I try to learn as much as possible, because I feel like it is amazing to go there and see what's going on and learn about not just basketball or whatever, learn about life, learn about
Mhm.
how can we educate ourselves. With that being said, how can we educate our youth? So it is very, very important. So that's why one thing really inspired me again, not just Mr. Gulen, this whole Hizmet is educating people, and not just in their country or where they're from. It's educating this movement is open up school for over 107 countries in the world, and it's educating our youth. And if you want to have a better future and bright future, we need to educate our youth and our kids. So that's why that was the most important thing that inspired me inspired me the most.
Continuing from this question, what does Hizmet mean for you?
Everything, because like I said again, it's like a lifestyle, and it is. I'll just say this, not just for this Hizmet is representing millions and millions of people and all around the world. And if you look at it, we are whole. Most of us is from Turkey who's watching this, and if you go to every country in the world, and there is a school or there's like a dialogue center, there's a cultural center, there's some kind of a center that represent our flag, represent our people, represent our country. So for me, it is very important to now get to know these people and learn more about what this hizmet means.
Okay, thank you. Growing up, did you have a dream university that you wanted to get into? If so, which one was it?
I actually always wanted to go to North Carolina because that was a school that Michael Jordan actually played in.
Oh,
And actually, when I came to America, I decided to go to Kentucky. And that year, we well, I couldn't get to play, but that year we were in the Final Four, and then it was an amazing run.
wow, Michael Jordan. All right, thank you. Next question: who is your most favorite teammate you ever had?
Every team I go to, I had different characters, different teammates, but I would say my favorite one was probably either, like you said before, Steven Adams or Russell Westbrook, because first I played with him 2.5 years, and we've been in a battle together, we won the war together. So I will definitely just say either Steven Adams or Russell Westbrook.
All right, thank you. Next question is something you talked about a little bit, but I'll still ask again. Maybe you might want to open it up a little bit.
Mhm.
What are you looking forward to in your future life?
My future life, I am actually, want to finish my career healthy. I want to play at least for 5 more years in NBA, at least 5 more years. And whenever I'm done with my basketball career, like you said, like you asked before, I want to join the WWE. And I think it's a very huge platform, again, to share different kind of people about what Hizmet means, what Turkish means what Turkey is and what Turkish culture means. And then whenever I'm done with that, we'll see. We'll see what God, just God give us.
All right, thank you. Next question: who was your inspiration when you were a kid?
As a basketball player.
I guess, yeah.
The basketball player. There's one player that I loved. I enjoyed watching him play every time when he was on the court. His name was Hakeem Olajuwon. I don't know, like some of the younger generation might not know who that is, but he was one of the he's one of the few Muslim players in the league that he played. He actually played NBA Finals while he was fasting during Ramadan, and he won a Most Valuable Player. So for me, he was my inspiration growing up, and he was definitely one of the best basketball player I've seen. And now people are saying that he's one of the top 10 maybe basketball player that ever played this game. So I'll probably say Hakeem Olajuwon.
All right. Next question. Do you like math? And do you speak any other languages?
Do I like math? And what was the second question?
You speak any other languages besides English and Turkish, I guess.
No, actually, I only speak Turkish and English. Do I like math? I'll be honest with you, I really don't like math. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie to you, I really don't like math. But of course, it is very important. I wish, like I said this before, I wish I paid attention to schoolwork more. But if I had to go do it again, I would definitely pay attention to all my classes.
All right. Thank you. Next question. What is your daily routine these days?
Well, just because we're in quarantine, we cannot really go outside and do what we do always. So right now, I try to, so this is the time to it's educate yourself. This is a really time because we always complain about how busy our schedule is, right? We
Mhm.
always complain about we have practices, we have school, or we have some of us have school, or some of us have just basketball camps, this and that. But I feel like this is the time that you need to sit down and educate yourself. I try to actually read a lot of books. I try to watch a lot of documentaries. I try to do the best I can to just spend this time in the best way possible. Try to educate myself about just anything, about just besides than basketball. So I feel like it all depends on how you look at life. You can just there's two way of this, spending this time. You can just sit at home, play Fortnite all day, or you can just do something good for your life. To read a book, watch a documentary, just sit down and read, actually learn Turkish or English or any other languages. So I feel like it is all about you. So you just have to decide which way you want to take.
Mhm. Normally, do you find time to read books?
So I do actually try to read it in a plane because we fly almost every day, so that is the best time to just there is no distraction. Just you just can't open up a book and just stay focused on it. But just because of we have all this basketball games, practices, games, charity works, and going on, so that's why it is so hard for me to even just read a page.
Mhm.
But just because of when we fly, we have a lot of time. So but right now, I'm really focusing on reading a book.
All right. Thank you. So, next question is, how do you perform your prayers in case it crosses towards your games?
I mean, it's very easy. I get this question a lot. It is all about if you're really trying hard or not. So all you have to do, I try to do, I feel like those praying times is more important than the games I played. So I actually sit down with my team and talk to them about, hey, look, I'm a Muslim and I have to pray 5 times a day. And they said, what can we do for you? And I said, I need a room to just go there and play. So they gave me a room in a practice facility and the arena that we play games at. So whenever it's the praying time, I just go there and pray. And I remember whenever I leave that room, there are lots of people. There are some people are asking me, "Did you pray for us too?" So it is all about respect.
Mhm. All right. Thank you. Have you ever been to Turkey ever since 2015 or 2016?
That was the last time I was in Turkey, 2015, summertime.
All right. Do you miss your home country? Do you still love your home country?
Of course, I mean, obviously that is your home, and my family's still back in there. My friends are still there, and you know, whenever I talk about these issues, what's going on in Turkey, a lot of people thinking that, I don't like my country. That is wrong. And I love my country. I love my flag. I love my people. Our problem is with the current regime in Turkey right now. Our problem is not with our country.
Mhm.
So for us, we love we love Turkey, we love our flag, we love our people. So our problem should be with the regime in Turkey because they're corrupt,
Mhm.
because they're not fair, because they hurt innocent people. So I love my country, like I said again, and so I hope when all this crazy madness is done, I will definitely love to go back to Turkey and just see my family, or see my friends again.
Hopefully. Hopefully. Um, all right. Next question. Have you ever thought of joining the Warriors?
No, never.
All right. Next question. What do you think of the effect of the COVID-19 outbreak on prisoners all over the world?
It is, of course, it's tough. Obviously, what's going on, not just in prisons, the whole around the world, it's definitely tough. And we see what people going through. It's definitely heartbroken. But I think now, especially in Turkey, if you look at, there are lots of innocent people are in jails right now. Lots of kids, babies, women, elderly, lots of political prisoners. So I feel like they should definitely let them go, because once it spreads in jails, there is no way stopping it. And so they should definitely let all those people go.
Thank you. Next question is from Bahar. She's 8 years old, and she's asking, "What is your favorite meal?"
My favorite meal, I will say. So I try to eat very clean, right? Just because of, I mean, we don't want to gain no weight. So I'll probably say either salmon or tuna. Especially during the season, the whole basketball players. Well, I don't want to say whole, but a lot of basketball players will really eat very clean. So that's the best meal I guess you can eat before the game or practice, because it's very light. So I'll probably say either salmon or tuna.
Salmon or tuna? All right. Next question. What does someone need to play at a Division I college?
What they should do?
Yes.
First of all, I mean, obviously, if they go to high school, they just need to do. They just need to, just do their best to just show themselves in high school games. That's where the special college squads are just coming and watching you. And the second thing is, you know, there's there's lots of opportunity, especially in America. Because if I was in Turkey and I didn't have all this opportunity, but now you go to any high school, the coaches in high school definitely know some kind of Division I coaches. So if you're good enough, then your coaches have to make those connections connections for you.
Mhm. All right. Thank you. Next question. Besides the teams that you have played so far, is there any other team that you've dreamed of playing for?
I was actually always wanted to play for Lakers when I was a kid,
Hmm.
because that was like I said, that was the only team I was watching growing up. Kobe and Shaq times, and I will because I mean the culture there, the city, the fans, now like the atmosphere now is like a lot of crazy, but like LeBron playing there, Davis playing there, lots of good players that were playing there. So I would say if I had to pick any of the teams besides then, the Celtics or that I played for, I'll probably say pick that team.
Lakers. All right. Thank you. Next question. What do you miss about your childhood the most?
Probably, I had to. I don't. Probably my childhood. What I missed the most, probably because because I was a kid, I didn't have to do anything. My mom was doing everything for me. She was cooking, she was cleaning, she was making my bed. She was, breakfast was ready, lunch, dinner, everything was ready. My all my clothes was clean. She was ironing everything. So I probably say I miss that the most, because now you're all grown up. Now you have your responsibilities. Now your mom is now with you. You have to make your own bed. You have to do laundry, wash your clothes, and do iron and all that stuff. I'll probably say that.
Yeah.
I'll probably say that. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. All right. Is there a goal that you'd like to achieve in the NBA?
Championship. I feel like every player, joins the NBA. is their goal should be, I hope, is they win a championship. I went to Western Conference twice, but I did not win a championship yet. So the next 5 years, I would love definitely for sure just go out there and just win a one championship.
All right. All right. Next question is from Bahar again. This time she's asking, how many hours do you spend in the gym practicing?
Well, right now, not much because I would say right now maybe 30 minutes, maybe for 45 minutes because we cannot we're not allowed to go to any gyms. But before that, before this the virus break up, I would say probably the 3 4 hours a day. You know, not just basketball. I'm talking about lifting. I'm talking about basketball or getting treatment or watching uh, games or just taking care of yourself. I would just say probably around 4 hours.
All right. That's a lot. All right. Next question. What is your reaction when you lose? How do you feel?
You have to move on. You have to learn from it, and you have to move on because we play 82 games. I will just say this: if you cut up on that losing, then you're not gonna be affected for next game. So what I will say is learn from your mistakes and move on to the next game, and try to bring those mistakes. Try to bring what you learned to the next game. And I'll just say it just first my couple of my years I probably was getting really sad whenever I was losing, but now just because it's my ninth in the league now, I got a lot of experiences. I'm just yeah, used to it now. That's what I would say. But I just have to learn from my mistakes and whatever I learn carry to the next game.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you. Next question says, I heard that you used to talk to Hakeem Olajuwon about fasting in Ramadan.
Hmm.
How hard was it for you to fast during the month of Ramadan?
It was not actually at all. It was not hard at all. I did talk to him and he gave me some tips. I asked him like how much water he was drinking and what did he eat and everything. First of all, when he heard that I was going to fast, that he was very excited and very happy for me because like I said this again, the the praying, the Ramadan and all the other stuff is more important than what you're doing, like playing basketball, everything else. So a lot of people was asking me that question if I'm going to fast or not. And I did decided to fast, and just because of I wanted to show the whole world that I can do it. It was not hard at all. Actually, I
Mhm.
was feeling better because I was paying attention to little details even more than I was before. So for me, it was not hard at all, and I just went out there and we actually won that series. We were playing against Denver Nuggets in semifinals and Western Conference Finals, and we just went out there and won that game.
True, true. All right. Thank you. Next question. It's something that you've actually talked about a little bit, but I'll still ask again. Maybe you might want to open up. It says they're asking, what's the main point of following Hizmet movement?
What is the what?
What is the main point of following Hizmet movement?
The main point is, just sacrifice. Sacrifice means live for others. There's a really good saying that the a lot of people in Hizmet use this a lot. Live for others. Means sometimes you put others above you, and you trying to do good so others can live a better life. And so for me, it was that saying just changed my whole world. So I would just say, live for others. I think that will explain everything.
All right. Thank you. Next question. How has Jayson Tatum's big jump affect the Celtics?
It did a lot. I mean, obviously, I never seen a player that got so much better in a couple of months time period. I remember if I compare Jason Tatum beginning of the season and March, it was a huge difference. And obviously, he made All Star team. That will tell you everything. So for me, it was amazing to just witnessing him just going out there and just literally destroying everything that he played against.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Um, Next question. What kind of movies do you like, and what is the book that inspired you the most?
I try to watch a lot of documentaries because I mean the movies just you just watch it and it just comes and goes and you don't learn anything from it. But I feel like if you're going to watch something, watch a documentary, learn about life, learn about what happened, you know, different times of life. So I will just say I watch a lot of Netflix the documentary and I learn a lot from it. The one book that inspired me the most, I actually there are lots of books that I'm actually trying reading right now. There is one I was reading that actually Coach Brad Stevens gave it to us. It says the leaders eat less, and it was one of the most incredible books that I was reading. I didn't finish it, but I feel like I said again, it is so important to spend at least 1 or 2 hours a day to just sit down and turn your phone off because if you're reading a book and your phone is next to you, you're gonna get notifications from Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok, or this and that, and you're gonna be distracted. So I would say if you're reading a book, make sure that put your phone on silence or put your phone off so you can focus what you're reading.
All right. Thank you. Next question is, what are your thoughts on last year's NBA champion Toronto Raptors? And could you tell us a bit more about how you were able to enter Canada with the support of Canadian government?
It was good. It was amazing because it was the first time ever that one of the Canadian team win a championship. Obviously, Toronto. So for me, obviously, I played for the Portland Trailblazers. We had a pretty good run. We made the Western Conference Finals, but Golden State was just too good. They literally destroyed us. But the second question was going to Canada. I think it was just amazing to see how much I get support from all over the world, especially the world leaders. Just because of I was wanted to go to Canada for Toronto Raptors game this year, and just because of that, the Justin Trudeau's office and himself was helping me to get in there safely and get out safely. So it was amazing to just see how much support I get from all over the world.
All right. Thank you. Next question is, did you ever wish that you grew up in America?
I think it just all planned. Everything happens for a reason. I'm born in Switzerland. I grew up in the Turkey, but I'll just say this: people should feel very lucky right now, especially nowadays. Whenever I visit a cultural center or a school or a dialogue center, I see our kids. I see the kids that they grow Turkish kids that grow up in America. They should feel very lucky and blessed to be in this situation. So they shouldn't take it for granted. They just need to go out there and trust the people around them, and then do the best that they can to help themselves grow.
All right. Thank you. We'll squeeze in like one or two more questions and then we'll finish up after that. Next question is, do you have any plans about marriage?
No, I don't.
All right. Next question is, how did Kobe's death affect you?
Affected not just me but everybody, because like for of course obviously he was mean a lot to not just the basketball world but the whole support world. And well, I think people just stopped for a second and said, okay, look at him. Just he had everything, money, fame, this and that, but he just gone. And people, so right now, people were just asking themselves, where were they going? People asking themselves, I feel like more people now asking themselves question about afterlife, asking themselves question about, okay, what is all this? What am I going to do with all that money? What am I going to do with all that fame or opportunity? So I need to use it in a good cause. So I feel like with his dad, obviously affected and it was a heartbroken, but now people now asking themselves more question about the afterlife.
Mhm. All right. Well, thank you, Enes abi. Well, we'll stop here if that's okay with you.
Yep, for sure.
Thank you for being with us. Honestly, it was a pleasure for us, and you have been an inspiration for us for many years in many
Yep.
ways. Thank you for being here, and thank you for all the years that you've given for us.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
All right. You have a good day.
Yep, you too. Thank you.